I'm Sarah, the assistant editor of Engaged Investor magazine and Pensions Insight magazine. I'm here with Steve Webb, former pensions minister. Steve, welcome.
Thank you.
So there's been a lot of changes in the last 5 years, perhaps the most radical changes that we've ever seen. How much of that would you say was driven by the coalition? How much came from the Turner Commission and how much was your own personal crusade?
I certainly think Turner laid the foundations in some crucial ways, got the idea of automatic enrolment and built a consensus for it, which is great. I think he left things undone like state pension reform, and certainly the version as implemented by the last government would not have flown, in my view. There was a risk of means testing in retirement, tiny amounts of money going in, no quality standards. There's a whole raft that we had to sort out. I took the view that we needed state pension reform anyway and to make auto-enrolment work. So I think, I feel I've driven a lot of it through. It wouldn't have happened without a coalition, getting two parties in favour of it, and hopefully as a result we're in a much better place.
Absolutely. And if you had your time again, is there anything that you'd do differently?
I think probably the biggest thing we got wrong was, funnily enough, the moving of the state pension age quite so quickly. When we made the decision, I don't think we fully appreciated the group who would be most adversely affected. And although we did mitigate it, and I argued with the Treasury and got £1 billion out of them, which is more than most people do, looking back, if we could have done that again, I would do. But on the whole, if you'd offered me a package of state pension reform, auto-enrolment, and then the budget freedoms, I think I would have taken that.
Yes. And, you've often said that we're not quite there yet on auto-enrolment. What's got to be high on the agenda for the next government?
We need to keep our eye on the ball. Although it's gone really well so far, we're only halfway through the workforce, so there's a lot to do to make it work for small firms. But even once we've done that, we've then got to think very hard about the level of contributions. It clearly isn't enough. It's a good start, and that I think we should start thinking about now, because the lead time on legislation and putting it into practice is going to be years.
And finally, Ros Altmann has just been announced as the new pensions minister. If you could give her one piece of advice, what would it be?
I've spoken to Ros, and I said to her what someone said to me right at the start, which is be very clear about your priorities, because it's so easy to be blown off course by the day-to-day and events and crises. And if you want to be able to look back at the end of however many years it is and say, this was the thing I really wanted to achieve and I've done it.
Great. Thank you very much, Steve.
Pleasure.